So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
one thing that I see a lot, and I think most people may also miss out the upside of this pandemic. As much as I'm not hoping for it to be extended, but you do see a lot of things happening which may not have happened otherwise. You're seeing a lot more home chef. You're seeing a lot of chef from hotel coming to hawker center to open their own hipster shops, and I think all these are good for the ecosystem, the business that they're in, and really to provide more options out there. And based on what you're seeing right now and what you could foresee, what do you think would be the biggest change or disruption in your field as we started in 2021 and moving forward?
great question. Let me tell you something. I was recently listening to a podcast, and one of the roles, Harvard did some study and they came up with 21 future roles. And one of the roles that I heard which made me laugh is in future, organizations may start hiring distraction prevention coaches.
So basically, the equivalent of a discipline master during our school time.
Yeah, a euphemism for that, I guess. So, so yeah, what disruption is going to happen in the future? Who knows? But I just have I have a bit of a, what should I say, concern that technology should not always lead change, although it can be used to lead change. Just because I know artificial intelligence, just because I know robotics, just because I know machine learning, which is all true, by the way, I should not invent some kinky stuff that, I start creating, making it look like it's very valuable. And the masses out there, for lack of anything better that they know, they start experimenting with it, which is fine. And I don't mind experimentation. But then if it starts becoming a way of life, you can imagine what's happening today. Look at what Facebook is doing to people. Look at what all these social media apps is doing to people. It's ruining them. Why? And that's the problem. It came at it. In fact, the inside story of Facebook is that people, when Facebook was invented, they already knew the psycho impact of such a thing. But Zuckerberg seemed to have progressed with it because of commercial interests. What he started out in Harvard as a very benign platform to get people to talk to each other suddenly took on a demonic form.
But would
And
you also argue that this are happening because some people may have lesser mental resilience, and which is why they are receptive to all this kind of nudges, psychological plays that all these apps and tech companies are coming up with?
you know what? To be very honest with you, Adrian, it's a lot deeper and more sinister than that. Yeah. You and I, with all our maturity, we can ourselves get addicted to it if we had the time. And the reason for this is because we are all slaves of our hormones. And every second of every minute, as our sense organs are taking in our sensory perception of stuff, there is a cocktail of hormones being ejected into your blood, and these things can take over. And I can tell you, it's very, very sinister. I mean, we should never diminish the terrible impact of social media on generations. The internet itself has its dark internet, as we know. But the thing is, it requires a great amount of human discipline. Great amount of human discipline for parents. I get very, very upset or scared when I find young parents, just pushing a MacBook or something into a baby's hands, 2-year-old, 3-year-old hands, and these children are playing something. I don't know what impact it has, but I know one thing. Steve Jobs, he is on record to say that I have not given my children a MacBook or an iPad. He's on record. Why? Why did Steve Jobs, the inventor of the iPad, not give an iPad to his kids?
For obvious reasons, because he knows something bad is going to happen.
Yeah. So, to your point, I am not favorable to any of these new tech stuff. It has to be, a lot of discipline needs to be there. And without that discipline first being there and the governance first being there, embracing technology is very, very risky.